Today, we are going to dig into something so fundamental, so basic to prayer, that just questioning it feels a little bit radical. We're going to explore a kind of hidden code, tucked away inside a single powerful word. And if what our sources say is true, this code could totally change your entire connection to, well, everything.
All right, let's just start with this question. Imagine for a second that the most sacred line of communication you have has been operating with a tiny, almost invisible error. Not an error in your heart or in your intention, those are pure, but an error in your grammar. What if fixing that one little word could change the entire nature of the call?
So first, let's get on the same page. We need to talk about the amen we all grew up with, the one that has been the sacred seal on our prayers for forever, it feels like.
I mean, think about it, right? Whether you're all alone in a quiet room or in a church with hundreds of people, the ritual is always the same. You pour your heart out, you make your request, you share your biggest hopes and deepest fears, and then you close it out. You put a final stamp on it with amen. It's the last word, the end.
But what's really key here is the energy behind that. When amen comes at the end, it kind of carries the vibration of a plea, doesn't it? It's like we've sent our message and now we're just waiting, hoping, saying, "Oh, please, let it be so." It puts us in this position of asking for something from a power outside of ourselves.
And this quote just nails it. According to the material we're looking at, that simple choice of where to put the word has these huge spiritual consequences. It literally shifts our whole stance from being a partner with the divine to being a servant. It takes what could be this powerful, bold declaration and turns it into a humble, hopeful request.
But what if that was never the point? What if we've had it backwards? Let's get to the real heart of this and unlock the code by looking at what amen actually means.
Okay, this right here, this is the key that changes everything. The word amen doesn't mean please, not even close. It comes from Hebrew and Aramaic, and it is a word of incredible power and affirmation. It's a declaration of what is real. So when you say amen, you are literally saying it is so. You are affirming something as a present moment truth. It is not a wish, it's a confirmation.
Now get ready for this, because this is the claim from our source that could shift your whole world. It suggests that Jesus never, ever used amen to end a prayer. Instead, he used it to begin a declaration. You know the phrase, "Verily, verily, I say unto you"? Well, in the original language, that's amen, amen, I say unto you. He was starting with the affirmation, declaring something is true before he even finished saying it.
So you see the massive difference here, right? We've been taught to see amen as a period at the end of a sentence, closing out a request. But its real power, its original power, is as an engine, the ignition that starts a reality. It's the difference between knocking on a door, hoping someone will answer, and holding the key to that very door yourself.
Now, understanding this is one thing, but actually applying it, that's where the real magic happens. So how do we make that shift from pleading for something to praying from a place of our own power?
It's actually a pretty simple but profound three-step process. You start with the declaration, amen. You were setting the tone, the frequency, right from the get-go. Then you state what you want, not as some future hope, but as a fact that already exists. So instead of, "Please God heal me," it becomes, "I am healed." And finally, you have to embody that certainty. You have to feel the reality of it is so in every part of your being. And that is the result. This practice, it doesn't just change your prayer, it changes who you are. You're no longer on the outside begging for a miracle to happen to you. You become a co-creator, commanding that miracle from within by affirming it into existence.
Wow. So we've traveled from this common habit we all have to a revelation that could completely change our lives. So let's lock in this new understanding and make it a real, tangible part of how we operate.
So let's break it down. Here's the code all in one place. First, amen isn't a plea, it's an affirmation. It means it is so. Second, moving it to the beginning of your prayer changes the whole energy from a request to a powerful declaration. And third, this tiny little shift changes everything about your role. You go from a servant asking for help to a co-creator making it happen. You know, the power of a declaration is in the act of declaring. So to really make this real for you, to lock in that creator frequency, I want you to make that declaration right now. Type it, affirm it. Let this be the start of a whole new reality for you. Declare it in the comments below. Amen. Amen.